that opening song just had our residents here dancing in their seats, which is fitting because I think dancing is the subject of today's show. We have two of our resident club leaders from the various dancing groups going on here on campus, John Carle and Ralph Driscoll. Thanks, gentlemen, for coming today.
My pleasure.
Okay, and I believe, John, you are the representative for the line dancers, right?
Correct.
And Ralph, you are here representing, let me
The
look at my
round
cheat sheet.
dancers.
The round dancing,
That's
okay.
right.
So I think if we got a little time to kill, we should talk about each of these dances a little more historically before we get into them. So John, let's start with you. Line dancing, how did that come into existence? What do you know about it?
There's a lot of controversy on actually how it started, but I think we can easily go back to any of the island dances, country dances, folk dances all around the world. And if you notice any movies or video, you do see of dancing in any of the folk groups. They all have a rhythm and a way of doing the steps that we have imported into line dancing. In fact, if you look at the steps very carefully, you say, gee, I do that in line dancing class.
Interesting. And when you said island dancing, did you mean like Hawaii or?
Yes, Hawaii, any of the Pacific Islands.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Interesting.
And also countries like Greece and other folk dances from all over the world have been incorporated in actually all dance forms.
Gotcha. And Ralph, what about you, round dancing? How does that differentiate from what John does?
Round dancing is basically choreographed ballroom dancing.
Uh-huh.
It's a partner type dance.
So is ballroom dancing not choreographed?
It is choreographed. Oh, ballroom dancing as a factor, not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
No. But in round dancing, it always is choreographed.
Mm-hmm.
There are thousands of cue sheets that have been written about the sequences, about the steps that make up the figures in round dancing. It's really called round dancing because we dance as couples and we dance around the room. Therefore, we get the round dance bit of it, right?
I always wondered
So,
what that was.
It's been around for about 60 years now.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. There is, I think, a relationship between that and sequence dancing.
Okay.
Sequence dancing, round dancing's been around about 60 years. Sequence dancing for over 100 years. Actually, when they started that one, I think the only kind of dance that existed was polkas and waltzes and Argentine tango.
You'll have to clarify what sequence dancing is. This sounds like it was something that kind of laid the base work for round dancing.
That's right. The major difference between the two things is that in sequence dancing, they choreograph it, but each of the dancers, the couples, must remember all of the sequences they're going to do that make up the particular dance, right?
Okay.
In round dancing, we're also choreographed, but we have the advantage of having a cuer, somewhat like a caller in square dancing.
Yeah.
Right? And he reads the cues, and then we all do the same kind of things at the same time.
Okay.
Right?
And you gave examples of sequence dancing as polka and tango, things like that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That was the original type dancing that existed.
Okay,
And then we
gotcha.
sort of moved on from there. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, it sounds pretty neat. Well, both of you, what's the appeal for these sorts of dances at Greenspring? Do you find that you have a good turnout at your events? And
Yes. With the line dance class, over a period of 4 or 5 years that I've actually been the instructor, plunked out of the chorus, so to speak, out of the line, and was awarded the opportunity to lead the class. We have found that people like to come to the line dance class, whether they are rank beginners, whether they did line dancing in a previous existence before they came to Greenspring, or they just want an alternative that's sequence-based or choreograph-based that they can do by themselves into popular music of the 70s, 80s, 90s, even today's music. And so it's really an extension of their physical fitness. And,
Yeah, it's good exercise, absolutely.
And we even have people in the class who are on walkers, and they use the counter in the craft room as a steadying device and do their turns actually using the counters. And if they don't know how to do that, I will show them how.
Oh, well, that's great.
So it's an alternative to going to the gym every day.
I was going to say, it sounds like it's an important thing just to stay active, which is another thing
Yeah.
we offer here, just to stay active, both, I guess, mentally and physically, right?
Yep.
Now, are you a
Yes.
line dancer by trade, John? Is this something you grew up doing? Because I know you're from the New York scene, so I
no.
never remember what you're an expert at and what you're not.
No,
It seems like you're an expert of everything, arts.
Well, I'm certainly interested in it all and enjoy
Yeah.
it. No, actually, I never line danced except for the electric slide at weddings, bar mitzvahs, etc. Until I came here. And then I joined the class because my background was performing, so I did a lot of dancing, singing, acting. And so when I came to the line dance class here, I was a rank beginner. I didn't know what was going on. It took me a couple of months just to put it all together. And then I had this epiphany that if I'm going to teach it, I'd like to break it down and show people the steps so they can catch on to it quickly.
Yeah.
Without just saying, well, I'll copy you for a year or so and absorb it that way. So
How many years has it been now that you've been teaching class?
it's been at least 4, maybe 5.
Yeah. And you guys did a nice performance at the last Dancing with the Greenspring Stars, I remember that one.
Yes.
That was And you're right, because you do incorporate some more modern music, which is neat. Yeah. So when and where is your line dance class held, so people know?
A beginner's class is on Thursday from 10 to 11. And then we have a 2-hour session on Mondays from 2 to 4. I start with the beginners, depending on who's in the class, and we advance through the 70 or 80 dances that we have. And they're all
70
choreographed.
or 80? Yikes.
Yeah, I think yesterday I taught the 75th dance
Yikes.
of the
Wow.
80.
And now, do you guys remember all 70 or 80 all at once?
Logged
away there in your brain?
I have cheat sheets, just so I
would
know
need that
which
too.
foot it starts on, the left or the right. Usually after that, I'm okay.
And now, line dancing isn't necessarily done with a partner,
No.
but round dancing is.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
great. And when is your club held, Ralph?
It is every Monday from 1 to 3, and we do it at the Hunters Crossing Conference Center, right? We have a couple of professional type teachers that do come in. I do not teach. I'm not as smart as John, right? I dance a lot, right? I've been doing round dancing for many years, but never involved with the teaching part of it. The intent, though, of the round dance is for everybody to be doing the same thing at the same time. That differentiates from ballroom dancing in a sense, right? And some 70 years ago, I guess, they invented a group called the Rounder Lab. And the Rounder Lab people organized the dances a little bit into levels of dancing, right? And they relate it once again to ballroom dancing. So the 1 and 2 level, 1, 2, and 3 actually relate to the ballroom bronze level of dancing. The 3 and 4 level in round dancing relates to the silver level in ballroom dancing. And the 5 and 6 level, which is the top level, this 1 through 6, relates to the gold level or above level again of ballroom dancing. And the differences in there is that we always start people off, of course, at the easy level, the entry level, right? And everybody starts learning, you might say, from day one. They start learning.
Hopefully.
That's a good place to start, yes. And they start learning the steps that make up a figure, right? And the figures in turn sequence to make up a dance. A dance will normally last about 3 minutes, which is the length of a record, right?
Okay.
The complexity of the figure relates to the level of the dance. In the entry level, the figures are very straightforward, and there's a lot of repetition.
Yeah.
So that helps a lot
helps
for
the learning
people getting
process.
into the dancing to gain confidence. And learners, or people who are introduced to round dancing, they become very happy when they actually can complete a whole dance.
Oh, I bet.
A whole dance sequence.
I know for me, I'm happy if I can just complete a whole dance. And this is just
Yeah,
at a wedding when there's no really steps to do. It's just
I'm happy to still be here in this world, but anyway, that's another story, right? As you move up into the silver level and above, right, then you start getting to far more complex figures.
Oh yeah, I bet.
We get into telemarks, we get into double reverse spins, we get into jetty points. These are all high level
Yeah, they sound
dance
complicated.
figures. Yeah, they are
I feel my
complicated.
heart racing just thinking about it.
I have trouble even pronouncing it sometimes, but anyway.
Now, is there a cost to join your class?
There is, yes. We have a modest cost of $5 a person.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Per dance, per person, right. So that is true.
Okay.
And people enjoy it. I don't think the cost is a major factor involved in the
No, it doesn't
dancing.
seem like it.
You either like to dance or you don't like to dance. I know of Anna over there, I can see her on the side. She wouldn't care if we charged $20 a dance. She'd be there. But anyway, when we get into high-level dances, of course, another factor involved there is that you have less length of dance, less repetition.
Okay,
is what
that's
I
the
really
higher
should
level,
be
yeah.
saying.
So you have to
Less
keep track of
repetition.
more in your head.
That's
Yeah.
right. Again, that's another difference between us and the sequence dancing. Sequence dancers have to remember the whole sequence. Therefore, they have to have quite a bit of repetition, right?
Gotcha.
In round dancing, we can go on for a longer period of time because we have the choreographed sequence, yes. We have a cuer who is telling us how to do the sequence and when to do it, right?
Nice.
So this can go on for a longer period and results in less repetition to the whole
Okay.
dance, right?
That makes sense.
In sequence dancing, I might mention too, they even have competitions. They go on to championships and so on like that. And I think the championships are measured by everybody's doing the same thing as we do in round dancing. It has a lot to do with the timing when they're judging these people. Has a lot to do with the execution of the figure, whatever it may happen to be, right?
Yeah.
And I think the style and the art of the dancers. These are important factors in round dancing too. And I think as people progress in the thing, they like to add a little more advanced styling and so forth like that, which makes them happier to be able to show off their selves or show off their partner.
Does a lot for the pride, I guess.
Something
Well,
like
gentlemen,
that.
we have about a minute left. Last words from either of you?
Well, I think that I would like to see more people come. We have about 7 couples right now, which is not bad. We're interested in that sense. But we would welcome people to come. We don't care whether they come to actually dance or even if they just come to watch the show. That's fine too. There's no charge for watching, by the way. We at least do that part of it free, right? But regardless of the situation, we would be very happy to see anybody that would like to come along, and we will welcome them.
Oh, good. John, last word?
Yes, we welcome any singles. We are not a couple dance. It's a singles dance, and we modify the steps to everyone's ability, whether they're incapacitated in some way or just cannot possibly physically do the steps. We modify the steps.
Okay. Well, thank you both for coming on. And we are back, Greenspring. I have 2 more pros with me. We've got Clark Edwards and Anna Gulrich here to tell us more about some of the dancing clubs happening here at Greenspring. So thank you both for coming. I think we've had you both on before, correct?
A while back, yes.
A while back, yes. So you all are veterans now. Clark, you're representing square dancing.
Square
right?
dancing.
I see you guys up to no good down there in the conference center sometimes, right? That's
Right.
you all? Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you'll see us on Tuesday afternoons, about 1:30 to 3:30, having a lot of fun, getting a lot of good exercise.
And you guys bring your own music. Is his name
We
Bud?
dance to records,
Okay.
phonograph records.
And you have a caller with you. What's
A
his
caller
name?
by the name of Butch Adams,
Butch Adams,
who's
right.
very, very good caller. He can call pretty advanced stuff that none of us know how to do. He can call very simple stuff where none of us know anything anyway. And anything in between, he can handle it. He's a good teacher, a good caller, and a lot of fun.
Great. And now this is technically an American folk dance, is that correct?
Yes, it'd be an American folk dance.
Yeah.
It's based somewhat on a lot of the English and country dances of back in colonial days. But it got changed during the colonial days, partly because of the room arrangements. Like they call it square dancing, I think, as much as anything, because if you're going to be in a cabin in the wintertime, there's not much room for a line dance, but there
Yeah.
is room for 4 people to square up.
Oh, that's interesting. I never knew that's why that was.
Live
Oh,
and
that's
learn.
pretty neat. Yeah, pretty neat. And so, what are some of the benefits of joining a square dance club? What do you think?
Well, first of all, you have a lot of fun, you get
Mhm.
a lot of good exercise. All dancing does that for you.
Yeah.
Square dancing has got some differences. One of the main differences, I think, is a square has 8 people in it.
Mm-hmm.
So you are dancing with 7 other people. And if you mess up, you've got 7 other people wondering what to do with you.
So it's almost like the domino effect. You're saying one person messes up, the other
it's
7
it's
people.
a group activity. And square dancing takes some concentration. If you lose your focus, if you're just dreaming about long ago and far away and not listening to the caller, you get off.
Oh, I didn't think about that. You do have to have that
With
extra.
with your round dancing and with your ballroom dancing, that's you can think of long ago and far away while you're dancing,
That's right.
and that's part of it.
Especially
But if you lose your focus when you're square dancing,
Yeah,
you
because you have to
get your
listen to the
mind back
caller
on your
too,
job.
and then you have to remember how to do the steps.
That's right.
So that does add an extra bit of, I could see that, of mental focus. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's great. And did you mention when and where this is happening? It's Conference Center Tuesdays.
Hunters Crossing Conference Center Tuesday afternoon to 1:30 to 3:30.
Oh, good. Okay.
There's no charge. There is a basket for donations so the caller can get gasoline money and things like that. But somebody a mathematician worked out a long time ago that if you want to maximize the traffic over a bridge, the best price to charge is 0. You get more people that way. So based on that, we charge nothing, but there is a basket in case you feel like you'd like to
Yeah.
donate a few bucks. It's welcome.
Because the caller's coming from off campus, so that's what that's for. Right?
Well, actually, yes, he is.
Mhm. Okay. Well, great. So, and I don't mean to be ignoring you here, but I know you've got
that's
your
okay.
own bits to say about ballroom dancing. Now, it
That's-
seems like this entire show, people have been knocking ballroom dancing.
Oh,
Saying,
my.
oh, there's more choreography unlike ballroom dancing, and there's more of this unlike ballroom dancing. So, tell us, now's your
Not
chance to
true.
defend ballroom
Not
dancing.
true.
Yeah.
We have 3 nights a week you can
Mm-hmm.
ballroom dance free, and you don't have to worry about 7 or 8 other people or squares, just one other person.
Yep.
And if you're a lucky woman, you get a man that can lead you and you just follow him.
Yeah. Is there a lot of those men?
Well, we need a few more good men, to tell you the truth. We do, and we encourage them to come. We have free lessons on Sunday nights, and we really encourage people to come and join us, singles or couples.
Yeah. Do you ever do a night where you have a big band come and it's a big fancy night?
Yes, every 3 months we
Oh,
have
wow.
every 3 months we have a big band at Hunters Crossing, and they've been coming for several years. Every 3 months we have that dance, and people really enjoy that. A lot of people just come to watch or listen to the music, or
Yeah. Now, do you teach specific steps, or is it just one of those dance classes where you just sort of learn to feel it and go with the music?
well, that's what we do on Friday nights.
Okay.
But on Sundays we have lessons. We have free lessons in our. We just finished Foxtrot
Okay.
lessons. Now next month it's going to be Rhumba. Shirley, well, not Shirley's away, so Leo Ropo and Elaine Rush are going to be teaching Rhumba
Oh,
Sunday nights.
so you guys do some of the Latin
7
dances
to 8,
a little
yeah.
bit.
And then Bob and I will be teaching cha-cha next month.
Oh, great.
So I know you love to cha-cha. You're going to have to come and learn.
I don't know how you got under that impression, but
But anyway, we have, and then Wednesday we have sort of a workshop.
yeah.
Wednesday nights we have a workshop where we work on the steps we've been.
So Sunday
learning.
nights, Wednesday nights, and Friday nights.
Yeah, 3
Okay.
nights a week.
Sundays are to rope in the new people,
Uh-huh.
and Wednesdays is to get you up to speed.
Right.
And Friday night, it's let's see what you got.
Absolutely. Lots of fun. And to experience the joy of movement.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
And it's in the
great.
Akatink room, you say.
Right, yeah.
Every night
I
in the
neglected to
Akatink
say
room?
that, didn't I? Sundays, it's in the Akatink room for the free lessons.
Okay.
Wednesdays at the Wee Bowling Center for our workshop. Oh, and by the way, on one Wednesday a month, we go over to Renaissance Gardens
Oh, good for you
to
guys.
dance with the people over there. They love it.
I was wondering when I was talking about all this dancing, especially couples dancing, has any romances been sparked at your guys' practices? I wonder.
I'm sure they have, but we don't talk about it much.
Well, Bob and I met at Ballroom Dancing
great.
many, many years ago.
Oh, well, there you go. Perfect. Well, very nice. Well, it sounds like from what I've been hearing that you have all these different disciplines, line dancing and round dancing and square dancing, and that I guess if you compare it to poetry, ballroom dancing would then be the free verse. It's like when you've learned all the various steps and disciplines, and now you just throw it all together and kind of just go with it.
Never thought of it that way.
Would that be accurate? Or?
In a way, ballroom dancing is the easiest of the ones because if you just know a few rhythms and a few steps, you can get along.
Uh-huh.
And the others, you may want to know more. Of course, you want to know more with that too eventually, but you can get along, you get started with less.
But that's true. You can move, like you say, you can just move with the
You
music.
feel the rhythm.
Yeah.
But one thing about the ballroom dancing is you've got all these different rhythms you were talking about, Anna.
Uh-huh.
In square dancing, it's all to a 4/4 beat. The
Uh-huh.
beat's always the same, and you know exactly what's
Uh-huh.
coming up.
Well, I find,
There's a simplification there.
Speaking of rhythm, I always like to ask dancers this. Do you think that rhythm, a sense of rhythm, and being able to move to the beat, even if you don't know specific steps, is that a gift or is that something that you can learn? Almost like pitch in music.
Some people don't have it, so I wonder if it's not a gift.
Yeah.
I've seen people dancing that they don't seem to be feeling the beat.
Yeah, and if you try to explain it to someone, it's almost
don't seem to
difficult to
understand it.
explain. It's something that you sort of feel. My father at music concerts has asked me before, what is everyone clapping to? I mean, he loves music, but he doesn't understand what everybody's clapping. He doesn't feel that. He doesn't
feel
he
the
doesn't
rhythm.
get it, and he'll clap and he'll
I think
look around
some people
and try and
don't
get
feel
on.
the rhythm the way
Yeah.
other people do. I think that's true.
but
Yeah.
I have to say, I've seen men that have two left feet learn to dance. So you all come, we'll teach you.
Right.
There you go. Well, hey, we have about 2 minutes left. So any final words from either of you? Clark?
Just any kind of dancing, whether it's line, square, round, or whatever, it's all fun and it's all good exercise. So come out and dance, whatever you're going to do.
Yeah.
And then from then on, it's what kind you like. The square dancing is a little different from some of the others. Like it involves more people. You got 8 in a square instead of just 2 or 1 like you do in line dancing.
Yeah.
And you don't get all the rhythms, the foxtrot and the cha-cha and all of that. You don't get to. If you like to dance those things, you don't get it in square dancing.
Yeah.
But you do get it with the round dancing, which square dancers like to do. So as we remember what Ralph said a while ago about round dancing, that all applies to going to a square dance anyway.
Or I suppose you could always just be that resident that just goes to all the clubs and all the groups and is just the dancer that dances everything. Right?
That's what I would do if
Yeah.
I had the time. I mean,
bet.
dancing is wonderful. I love every kind of dancing. And
Yeah.
as Ralph said, I would be at all of them if I could be.
Yeah.
That's right, Anna.
Any last word from you, Anna?
That's it.
That's it? That was the one? Okay, great. Well, thank you both for coming on. These shows always sort of fly
Glad
by,
to be
don't
here.
they?
Glad
Yeah.
to be here.